Notice now in a moment those feet are going to be so heavy you will not be able to move them. Feet are going to be so heavy now, stuck to the floor. Locked and stuck. What's that like?
Yeah, it's tricky.
In this week's video there's a bit more about calibration and the importance of reinforcing suggestions. So keep watching and find out what I mean. Hi there, it's Turan here from Feel Good Hypnosis, and this week we're talking about the importance of reinforcement of suggestions. I'm going to use, as always, a little Street Hypnosis skit. This video was shot a few summers ago because right now it's November 2020, and if you're looking at this way into the future, from the future, then, well, this is the time of the pandemic, and I hope everybody's staying safe and looking after themselves. Anyway, getting back to the fun stuff, the hypnosis, and the lessons that we can learn from this one. Now, this is the first sort of skit I'm doing just after I've hypnotized this girl, and when she wakes up I'm telling her their feet are going to be stuck to the floor. Now again, everyone, I've said this before in other videos, everyone's going to accept a suggestion in a different way. So, I always craft the suggestion in two or three different ways. When she wakes up, it's hard to tell from the camera angle, but when she wakes up, you can almost tell from the way she's moving that her feet aren't stuck to the floor. But it is clear to me because I'm calibrating her, I'm looking at her body language, her movements, even her hip movements and her body movements, that something's happening inside of her. Some part of the suggestion, the hypnosis is working at her level, at her pace, within her control, but something's happening inside her mind. And I guess, okay, this is an educated guess, but she looks like her feet are very heavy. They might not be stuck yet, but they're very heavy. So I say to her, are those feet heavy? And she confirms that, yes. So that's wonderful. That's the feedback I need. That's the calibration I've done to understand that something hypnotic has happened within her mind. So rather than just go, nah, that's not what's supposed to happen, your feet were supposed to be stuck, and just run away and be disappointed about the hypnosis, I'm happy that hypnosis is happening, but I want to reinforce her thoughts and her mind. So I say, notice in a moment those feet get even heavier. Again, hypnosis language, very important here, in a moment. So what I'm saying is, well, right now they're not fully stuck, but they will in the future. Now, a moment. Is a moment 1 second, is a moment 10 seconds, is a moment 60 seconds. So that gives her enough ambiguity to say relax and just let it happen. And notice how her feet, and her responses indicate that her feet are getting heavier. Yes, it's really tricky, she says. So that's the feedback I'm looking for, that the hypnosis is increasing and her feet are becoming stuck to the floor. Perfect. That's all I need. So I reinforce that by just saying it's heavier and heavier and heavier. All the time I'm getting the calibration from her as to where she is and reinforcing that with more suggestions in the same direction to get the end result. Once again, as always, this is a street hypnosis example. They're easier to use than having a therapeutic session on video, but equally well, you can use these techniques, these tools, these language patterns in a therapeutic session. If you see something and elicit some feedback that things are only half happening, don't give up, don't panic, just reinforce the suggestions in the same direction to get even further hypnotic phenomenon, get even further, powerful change inside their mind if you're doing therapy. So I hope you like this video, hope you understand that. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, make sure you give it a like. Don't forget, click the big red subscribe button and click the bell notification button so you get notified every time a new video comes out from Feel Good Hypnosis. If there are any questions still about this video, please leave them in the comments section below. I want to hear from you. I like seeing your comments. I like responding to your comments. You get some very good questions and some good interaction. And if you do have any suggestions for further things you'd like to see or clarifications, put them in the comments section below, and in a future video I'll make sure I reply to you. In the meantime, well, let's watch this video. Now in a minute I'm going to count from 1 to 3 on the count of 3. You're going to open your eyes, but when you open your eyes you're going to feel so relaxed, so comfortable in the position you're in now. It's going to feel like those shoes are just stuck to that floor. It's going to feel like those shoes are just stuck to the floor, cemented, glued. part of those tiles, those bricks underneath your feet. It's almost as if your shoes are just one with that floor. Nod your head that you understand. You will not be able to move your feet. The more you try and move those feet, the more those feet just stick to the floor. So 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. Feeling good?
Yeah.
Isn't it good?
Yeah.
Now go ahead now. Really try and lift those feet. Really try. Getting heavier and heavier. Getting heavier and heavier. Feel what that's like. What's that like now?
Yeah, it's really heavy.
It really is heavy. Notice now in a moment those feet are going to be so heavy you will not be able to move them. Feet are going to be so heavy now. Stuck to the floor. Locked and stuck. What's that like?
Yeah, it's tricky.
Really stuck. The harder you try and lift them, the harder they get. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It is cool. And look at me and sleep now. Way down deeper. Way down more relaxed.